So I'm coming up on 3 years since the start of my weight loss journey, and I thought I would share with you how losing approximately 90 pounds has changed my life. One of the reasons why I started this weight loss journey is because I was dealing with a severe case of acid reflux. In 2014, I had VSG weight loss surgery, and one of the side effects of that was I developed a severe case of acid reflux, and I suffered with this for years. I don't like taking medicine, and so I didn't take anything for it, but I also didn't seek help for it either, because one of the things that they do to resolve acid reflux in bariatric patients is they give you a revision surgery. And I absolutely didn't want a revision surgery. And so I suffered with acid reflux for years until one day I was like, you know what? I gotta go get this checked out. And if the answer is revision surgery, so be it. And I went in and I talked to my doctor, and she said to me, the acid reflux would resolve itself if you lost the weight. She said that the fat that I was carrying around my midsection was just hugging on all of my internal organs, and it was causing the acid reflux. And so she was like, if you just did what you were supposed to do, eat right, exercise, you would lose the weight, and then your acid reflux would subside. And it was such a light bulb moment for me, the way that she explained it, because I used to eat to soothe the acid reflux. And of course, I wasn't eating the right things, right? I had a severe sugar habit. And so I'm steadily eating sugar and other things in order to soothe the acid reflux. And I'm just making it worse because it's increasing my waistline. And so when she said that, it was a real light bulb moment for me. And the next day, I went home and started my day one. That was my last day one. And I have been on this weight loss journey ever since. So not only was I surprised when she told me that my weight was actually contributing to the acid reflux, but I was also surprised when I lost 70 pounds and figured out that she was absolutely right. My acid reflux started to subside almost immediately. I mean, I lost 30 pounds in the first 75 days by walking and clean eating, among other things, but I was also drinking a lot of water. And with that acid reflux just started to go away. And it was really like the catalyst for me to continue my weight loss journey, because I had dealt with this acid reflux and suffered in silence for so long. I was just really happy to find out that I actually had control of it. I could control this thing if I just went about taking control of my health. And so, on this journey to trying to resolve my acid reflux issues, I realized that clean eating is just the way to go. Clean eating is so much better for me, especially now that I'm in my 40s, than restrictive eating and, not eating certain food groups and trying starvation diets. Those things that we did in our 20s and 30s that may have worked for a little while but didn't work long term. Like, I'm so over that now that I'm in my 40s. I need to eat, and clean eating really helped me to see that yes, you can eat real foods. No, you don't have to be restrictive and cut out entire food groups and eat at a special time of day. If you eat the right types of foods in the right combinations for your body goals, then you don't have to diet anymore. And when we think of diet, we tend to think of restrictive eating in order to lose weight. And so I've given up the idea that I have to do all of those other types of things in order to lose weight. Now I eat real food. I eat real food all day long, and I'm able to maintain my weight without having to do anything overly restrictive. So this journey has definitely gotten me off of the diet roller coaster. One of the things that I realized when I was sitting there talking with my doctor was that I didn't have any self-discipline when it came to certain things, but especially when it came to what I ate. And that was the root cause of the entire issue with my acid reflux and all of the weight that I was carrying around my abdomen. I had a severe sugar addiction. And again, I was trying to soothe the acid reflux by eating all this sugar, and I was just further exacerbating the problem. And so as I was sitting there talking to her, I was like, you have to get some discipline about you. You have to figure it out and just do it. Like there's no turning back at this point. And so the next day I started a discipline challenge, a 75-day discipline challenge. And it just forced me to make life sacrifices in order to put myself first, to make life sacrifices in order to complete a goal that I was after. And that was really what I needed. And I was so glad that I started my journey with that 75-day challenge, because then I was able to take the habits that I learned and that discipline that it built over that 75-day period and continue to apply it throughout the course of my life, and especially when it came to what I ate. You know, on this challenge, I had to eat clean and I couldn't have a cheat meal. And so I decided that I wasn't going to eat processed sugar, because processed sugar isn't clean eating. And I remember telling myself, you know, if you want M&Ms after the 75-day challenge is up, fine, you can have M&Ms, but they're not going to go out of business in 75 days. So don't worry, you'll be perfectly fine not eating them for the next 75 days. Because when you commit to something like that and it's so far out in the future, you almost talk yourself out of it, right? Like, how am I supposed to go 75 days without eating processed sugar? But I've learned over this journey a lot of, again, discipline and delayed gratification. And I've really been able to complete goals over this period because I'm able to remove mental obstacles. I'm able to remove mental blocks and stop talking myself out of doing certain things simply because I think that I can't do it for a long period of time. One of the things that I've noticed is not only how other people treat me, but how I perceive myself as well. It's really tough when you're significantly overweight, and especially if you've been significantly overweight for a long time, like I was. I've struggled with my weight since I was a little kid. And you know, that wears on you, and it wears on your self-esteem, it wears on your self-confidence, and then people tend to treat you the way you treat yourself and the way they perceive that you treat yourself. And so losing the 90 pounds has just been kind of night and day, the way that people treat me. And I, you know, equate that to, well, am I treating myself better? Do I have more self-confidence? Is my self-esteem, you know, now through the roof? And all of the answers to those questions are yes. I see myself now in such a better light than I did in the past. And I think other people see that as well. Now I am more confident in me, and so they are more confident in me and treat me accordingly. You know, but it is, when you think about it a little bit, it does make you sad, because it's like, well, I was still a person before the 90-pound weight loss. And would like to have been treated better, you know, as a person before the 90-pound weight loss. But there's definitely a difference in not only how people treat me, but how I treat myself and how I think of myself. And that's one of the things that has really propelled me through the weight maintenance phase. That is one of the things that keeps me getting up at 4 a.m. and, you know, working out every morning. I want to continue to feel better about myself. I want to continue to like the reflection that I see in the mirror. I want to, you know, continue to be there for my family and watch my family grow. And, you know, I want to grow old, and I want to feel strong while growing old, and not, you know, feeling old while growing old, and all of those things. And so, you know, it really has not only been a boost to my confidence and esteem, but it's also the thing that propels me to keep up with those daily habits so that I can do this in the long term. And then one of the things that I have found over this journey is that I absolutely like to shop. I did not like to shop before. I would go into the store and pick up the first thing on the rack, and that's what I would buy, you know, as long as it was in my size. I didn't like to try on clothes. I tended to buy the same things over and over again, like the same black pair of pants, the same gray sweater. I would, you know, constantly wear like the same colors and the same things, simply because I did not like to shop. You know, I wanted to hide my body. I didn't want to show it off because I was ashamed, right? And now that I've lost the weight, I realized, I do like to shop, and it's kind of fun. And, it's fun to wear different colors now, things that I wouldn't wear before, and try new styles, and to find my own new style now that I'm not constantly wearing black pants all the time. And so that has really been a treat for me. But now it can get a little expensive, right? Like if you're continuing to update your wardrobe as you're losing a significant amount of weight, that can get a little expensive. I did at one point in time stop buying new clothes on my weight loss journey. And I remember I was in a size 12 and I was wearing a size 12, jacket, size 12 work pants. And I remember standing in the mirror one day and I was like, why am I swimming in my clothes? Like everything was just too big all of a sudden on this one day. So that night I went into a store and I tried on some new clothes, and come to find out, the reason why I was swimming in these size 12s is because I was now a size 6. And so I hadn't, I decided that I wasn't going to buy any new clothes. I was just going to wear my old clothes. And that worked up until a point where it didn't. It was just really quite obvious that I needed new clothes. And so that's another thing that really helps me to stay focused on the weight loss journey. It's just how that makes me feel. Not even necessarily how I look in the mirror in new clothes, but just that feeling of, okay, now I can go in the store and pick up something off the rack, and I can feel okay about trying it on and looking at myself in the mirror. And so, that part of it has really been a big change for me, and one of the things that I am really, really enjoying about this entire process. So all in all, losing 90 pounds has certainly been a life-changing experience for me, not only because I've been able to lose it, but also, I've been able to successfully keep it off thus far. And I'm really just doing the basics. I am eating clean, and I'm making sure that I move my body. I'm drinking water. I'm prioritizing sleep and recovery. And those are the basics, and those things still actually work. And so that is what I've been doing, and that is what I plan to continue to do in the long term, to continue to see success in the long term. If this video has been helpful to you, take a moment and give it a thumbs up so that I know that you like this type of content, and I'll continue to make more of it. And if you haven't joined the Get Fit community yet, take a moment and hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you here as part of the community. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.